I'm here if y'all are here. I'm here if y'all are here. I'm here if y'all are here. All right. I think we're here. What's happening, Bryce? Jorge? Still trying to figure out this new computer and new screens and everything else like that. A lot of things going on right now, and nothing bigger than Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin, it's marched for 10,000. We got 8 people here. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me just to help pump my numbers up. I appreciate it. Everybody wanted my live to get moved to 7 p.m. So we're here at 7 p.m. And I'm just kind of just going through some YouTube videos, Twitter, tweets, X's, whatever you want to call it. Just seeing what's new, a bunch of different stuff going on. Seems like everybody's pushing something these days. And, you know, as a fellow YouTuber, I don't know if I can just notice it better. I'm ashamed. I don't know what to say, but I kind of wonder what some of my fellow YouTubers are thinking when I see some of the stuff they're pushing. You know, Wingbits is one thing. GeoNet, those are some good projects that we can stand behind. We know, at least with GeoNet, kind of profits we're making, stuff like that. And I don't mind giving out my code for that. But some of these things, especially like these ASICs, man, they go on. You know, Dogecoin gets a pump, and next thing you know, people coming out the woodwork pushing ASICs again and stuff like that. And I'm just, between electricity and everything else, it's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. I guess I won't get no sponsorship from Bitmain anytime soon, but y'all know I like to try to be real with y'all, and just some of these videos coming across, because you know I did do ASIC mining some time back, Litecoin miners, Zcoin, stuff like that, even the Bitcoin miner, and you know I made pretty decent at the time, but back then those ASIC miners were only a couple of $100. Now what they want for some of these miners is just stupid. 10 grand, 12 grand, 15 grand. And you know, by the time you get them hooked up, by the time you receive them and get them hooked up, the difficulty's going down and it hurts you. So I knew, Dave, it didn't take 5 minutes for somebody to bring up Athe or whatever. I'm gonna tell you, I've never heard of it. I'll be honest with you. I never heard of it till yesterday, and just started getting, all of a sudden my YouTube and Twitter's getting slammed with it. I had somebody who emailed me about it, asking questions about it. Looking back at it, I don't see the big appeal. $1,200 for a device. Now, if the device was significantly cheaper, I might give it a chance. I'm gonna tell you, it's another thing. I joked with somebody earlier that we haven't. I mean, we used to make sure we could take spyware off of computers and out of our networks and stuff like that. And I'm not saying it's as dangerous as spyware, but y'all know, if any of y'all have watched any of my videos, things like Grass and Honeygain and some of these programs that we're purposely putting on our computer that's selling data or whatever you want to call it, using our unused bandwidth. And now we're going to put something like Ether, which is going to be a device that's going to be sitting at home on our network, that's going to be supposedly pushing data to the cloud and doing cloud mining and stuff like that. I'm just a little weary and all that stuff. And I'm just not, right now, I'm just not spending $1,200 on that. There's just no way. Not with holidays coming up and stuff. I'd rather just put that money in crypto. If you really feel that good about this Ether product, now you look at what that I don't know if I can even find it. You, you look at what this coin has did for Ether. You know, this is a month chart. It's up 12%, but it was at 5 cents, 0.052. It's at 0.059. You know, it really hasn't done that much. Even for the year, it's down 7%. But again, if you think that this miner is going to make all this gigantic difference, then buy the token. Sometimes to me, it's just better to do that. I just think there's a lot of sure things you can go with right now. And instead of putting all that money now, I'm seeing some of my YouTubers who I respect and I've chatted with before who are throwing some outlandish numbers out there of what you're gonna be making per day, but yet they don't have nobody has this thing yet from what I understand. It's pre-sales. So Dave, but the reason I'm bringing it up is because I bet I've had 5 different people ask me about it in the last 24 hours. One of the little group chats that I'm in with a bunch of guys, one of those guys even brought it up. And one guy, I'm not gonna lie to you, one guy said he has one of the older devices that didn't cost as much. This device was a significant price jump. He didn't really know if he was going to do it or not. He's talking about doing it, but he's also made his ROI on his previous device, so he feels positive about the project. That's kind of why, you know, I discussed it, just because I know that it's been getting pushed. So it was around the sales a couple months ago, but it apparently is around the sales again because it's getting pushed right now that you can buy it for like $1,200 or something like that. And you know, I was weary about buying a Chirp device for $800. So I don't know. 2 units for $1,000 a piece, each. Listen, I was wrong on grass. Well, I was wrong so far on grass. You know, the airdrop was awfully nice for a lot of people. So that part I was wrong. Now we haven't gotten rewards since then. I keep talking about grass. That I want to see what we're going to start getting for grass now that we're on this main net, which I don't even know if they full call it main net. But my point is, I was kind of wrong on that one. Some projects I haven't been wrong on. Fry. I watched a video earlier today where somebody said these are the top miners to be buying for 2025. And it was, you know, one of them was like Demo, and the other one was Fry. And I'm like, are you even paying attention to anything going on? You know, why would you want, I know some of y'all in Fry, and I know when I quit talking about Fry on my Monday videos, I hear it from y'all, but you know, I don't know why anybody wants this price action. You know, why are you going to buy, you know, down 90%? But you know, somebody's always telling me Fry's about to turn the corner and Fry's going to fix everything. I don't know. I don't know. You know, the big news right now. Let's talk about the big news. Big news is going to be this: is Bitcoin. Bitcoin 100. You can't escape it. If you're anywhere in the crypto world at all right now, you cannot escape the Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to be, you know, $100,000. Some people are saying it's still not going to happen until 2025. I tend to not believe that. Again, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. It's just you know, there's things I'm wrong about, and there's things that the few times I'm right, I like to say I'm right. I told everybody when all this was going, when Bitcoin jumped up in March and April, it's too early. When everybody thought October was going to be Pumptober and stuff like that, I kept telling them you have to wait till after this election. On top of these rate changes and stuff, because these rate drops that were coming, that's going to be the catalyst for us starting this bull run and going to be the push to 100,000. And people, even on Facebook, told me, no way, October, September, all this stuff like that. Sure enough, that's when it was. I can't see the momentum this thing has right now. I can't see it slowing down this much to waiting for the new year. But some people are saying that, you know, there's not that much, you know, even earlier today, you hit over 99,000. So this is Bitcoin on Bitstamp. Um, just one of the charts I use. This is Bitcoin on Coinbase. So it was at 99.4. This is the 1 hour chart. And this is Binance. So Binance didn't even hit 99,000. And I don't know how this is correct because Binance is trying to say it wasn't even close to that. So, whatever one you want to follow. That one almost had 9,000. But either way, I just can't see this momentum stop before this 100,000. Now, what happens at 100,000? Y'all tell me what y'all think. I could tell you, again, watching videos, doing my homework before this, you have people who believe, and I'm kind of in this camp, is I just think that they have this mental, we saw years past, we saw certain mental, I'm going to say kind of mental blocks, mental thresholds where when it hit certain areas, you had this buy, or this sell off, you had this profit taking. I kind of see that at 100,000. I think they have people who have sell orders from 100,000 just sitting there for the hell of it, probably forgot about it. And I just see this sell off at 100,000 just because I think it's that mental threshold. People like, this is a level. People who bought in back when it fell all the way down to 18,000 or 19,000, 20,000, back to 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. And then went up to 70, went back down in the 50s. Those people who bought in, I just see them taking some profit on hundreds. What I'm hoping is, and what some people like watching Tyler and them early, y'all know I'm a big fan of Tyler. I think you're going to see this start off the alt season. That's just me. Some people don't agree with that. Some people think Bitcoin still has Bitcoin dominance. And we saw Bitcoin dominance. Just want to show off my Grumpy Dad shirt. Bitcoin dominance is still, it went down a little bit. It's back up. I see 100,000. I think it's going to take profit. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, I watched Frankie Candles earlier. I like to watch Frankie Candles. He's trying to say if we really have this surge that breaks us through, not that we just kind of tithering at that 100,000 line. If we really break through that 100,000, he sees it going almost instantly to 110,000 because of the momentum. People can be so excited. I don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. Let's be honest. There's a part of me that can see what Frankie Candle says is if it has a hard 100,000, it's going to make so much news. People can think they're FOMO. And hey, look, I'm going to tell you, I don't have that much Bitcoin. I'm about to go, when I get paid tomorrow, I'm probably going to buy some Bitcoin. Not a lot, because I ain't got a lot to spend on it with the holidays and all the stuff I got going on. My daughter just had surgery, if y'all watch my other videos and stuff. But there's a small part of me, even though I'm a complete FOMO and idiot, I don't have that much Bitcoin. I'm seeing these stupid, crazy numbers, and I've been seeing them for months, years, whatever. $1 million Bitcoin, $200 million Bitcoin. Maybe I need to buy a little bit of Bitcoin. But I've always been the person in telling people that, hey, when you buy Bitcoin, and Bitcoin gets to back even when it was 60,000, people ask me, I'm like, hey, if Bitcoin gets 100,000, you're not even doubling your money. But you look at Cardano and Solana. If y'all saw my Twitter earlier and saw what I had, just in Solana, it was just absolutely stupid. I'm gonna see if I can find it for y'all because I put it on Twitter earlier, but I don't know if y'all can see this or not. See if I can make this a little bit bigger for y'all. But this is what DCA does. This is back when at 100,000. Back when. Come on, man. Back when Solana was back in the $8, $9, $10 range. I was only in Facebook groups back then. People making fun of me. I kept telling them buy Solana. $15. I bought $15 of Solana because I was just moving some stuff around. That $15 worth of Solana is worth $203 right now. And we talked about DCA, and this is one reason why you just DCA. Even back when I was telling people to buy this at $125, $130, and people still making comments back then about, man, no way, you can't be doing that. Solana keeps breaking down. It's nothing but meme coins. and stuff like that. Solana's $255 right now. When I was telling you to buy it at $125. So if you would have bought it at $125, you doubled your money again. Now I keep thinking there's going to be a $700 to $800 Solana at this bull market. But you watching George last night telling people yesterday it's going to be over, 1,000. Look, I'm all for it. I hope, another one that I kept telling people I was DCAing in, and I heard a lot of flack. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all can say what y'all want about this. Cardano is at 84.5 cents right now. 84.5 cents. And, I know there's certain YouTubers who want to make fun of Cardano people, and Cardano people's, their girlfriends are going out with dates with other guys. And I like Alex Becker a lot. Don't get me wrong. I know half of his jokes, but people attacking the Cardano constantly. 85 cents right now. To be honest with y'all, I didn't notice. When I looked earlier, it was 70. But, I was telling people still DCA into this. The beginning of November, you went about how fast this went up. Beginning of November, you had Cardano still at 30 cents. November 4th. So you had, I'm just curious. I want to see what this is. So in 17 days, Cardano went up 165%. Kept telling y'all DCA into it. DCA into that, DCA into AVAX, DCA into Solana, and stuff like that. Don't just take my word. Like, DCA works. And I'm going to show y'all this real quick. And this was on Crypto Blood earlier. But just to show y'all, this guy, TradeFly, is a very good trader. And he even talks about it. And I'm going to show that to y'all if I can get it to play.
Strategy, but I was somewhat of a swing trader, kind of trading on the way up, traded on the way down. That's kind of where I learned to start reading the charts. But yeah, again, I've done the math, man. It's so much easier to just DCA in, and it's conservative, and you usually win more so than someone like me who actively trades. It's statistics, and so that's why I always recommend that to people that have either a long-term plan or they're just getting in. And the other thing that I always think about is
so DCA is the game. Listen, I get paid tomorrow. And look, instead of if you have $200 you want to put into crypto, I had a friend that came to me, had a couple of $1,000 because he had to sell some stocks, and he wanted to put it all into something. And I'm like, look, let's break this down a couple of different things, and don't buy it all right now. Save some, and let's put some in next week and the week after, and it balances out. So I'm still at I'm up in a lot of stuff, even the stuff I bought there in the last bull market. I bought so much of some of that stuff during the bear market that it has worked out. So let's see. Listen, this one is going to be hard for me to swallow. I'm gonna tell y'all. Y'all know I'm straight with y'all. Y'all know I'm honest with y'all. This one is going to be straight. It's going to be hard for me to swallow. Y'all asked for it, and I'm bringing it up. XRP. I will still stand here, even with this chart in front of me, bright and shiny, and still say I'm very bearish on XRP. As far as the project, as far as the technology, it's an older technology. You look how long it's been out, but it's the hype. It's y'all pushing it, and sometimes that's all these tokens need is a great community. XRP has a great community. We all know about the XRP army, and sometimes that's all it takes. And you look at this too, and you cannot doubt this. I don't own hardly any XRP. I was, before it got sued by the SEC, and I heard it was coming. I was watching. I'll never forget it. I was at work, heard Voss going talking about it. It was $1 something, and I sold. And I mined XRP back then. I had an ASIC monitor, and I forget what program it was, but there was a website that you can go and you just mine to their pool, and you can get paid in whatever you want. And that's how I got a lot of XRP and Cardano years ago. And my XRP was $1 something, and I had several $100s of it, and I sold it just in time because what did happen the next day or two, and I never touched it since then. I do hold a little bit of it to it, but hey, there's gonna be a lot of tokens that are doing this right now. If so, if Solana can go up, I'm gonna tell you another one is Atom. I don't know what the hell's going on with Atom with tokenomics and stuff like that, but I'm hoping that Atom can pull something out of their rear end. But I've been loading up on Atom since I started talking about YouTube stuff, started doing these YouTube videos, and I slowed down a little bit because George is not that high on it. George keeps saying that there's something wrong with the tokenomics. This was $40 something, but I own a good amount of Atom. Hopefully that goes up. So, my mindset of what I've did with a lot of these tokens is there's some tokens like the Cardanos, the bigger cap ones, the Cardanos, the Solanas, Vet's another one. And I haven't even looked to see what Vet did. Vet's up 3 cents, 3.5 cents. We were buying in at 2 cents, but that's another one that went up to 20 something cents. To me, a good wallet should have a little bit of, when I set up my friends, this is what I always tell them. You want some Bitcoin, you're not gonna make a lot of money on it, but hey, that's the gold. What is 25% of your wallet or whatever. You want some big caps like this, and then you can go play with some of these smaller ones and, take your chances. Whether or not it's WIF. WIF had this big push. I didn't even see this one either. I still, WIF is what I cut my teeth on as far as this channel with meme coins. I called WIF very early at 20 something cents. And we made, if you follow me, we made some really good money. I still own, I ain't gonna lie to you, I sold over half of it, but when it was at $4. So I made some good money off of it. But even right now, what was that? Back last Wednesday, it was back up to almost $5, $4.79. It went down, but a good amount of alts are down. I don't know what's going on with Gala. Gala was whenever I was hyped up upon. H&T we're gonna talk about in a little bit. That one's like a blind man looking at a map for directions. That's how lost they are. Lunk, hey, I'm still up on Lunk. I bought Lunk, $500 worth of Lunk on at the bottom, and it's up over $1,000 plus what I put into it. So, I'm holding on to that. Yeah, I don't know. Peak, listen, I don't know what's going on with Peak. I was DCAing into Peak, and it's just constantly going down. I just thought with this being a chain that a lot of people were hyping because of the amount of DPIN. We're all into DPIN. Everybody in this chat's probably in DPIN. I just thought Peak would do a little bit better. I didn't put a lot of money into it. Basically, a lot of it was my IoT and Helium profits and stuff. Threw that in there, so I got about $40, $50 worth of Peak, which that was at 24 cents. It's at 20 cents now. I'm hoping that maybe once some of these projects start getting involved in it and they start going mainnet, maybe Peak starts taking off. I'm not going to throw some crazy money into it, but it was just something to throw, something new to throw. I had a bunch of people tell me about Arrow on base and stuff like that, and I completely missed out on it. So when I heard this coming out, new network and different things, I'm like, hell, why not try it out? So that's that. I've had some people ask me about our ESP32 projects. Let me tell y'all, Entropy right now, I'm having fun. I hate to say it. I hate to talk so positive about it because I know it's hard for people to get in. And if you're in it, you can agree with me. That's a great project. We're making $25 to $30 a day right now. At least I am. I have a second cred that I got for it, and I have never touched it. I've had it for over a month now. I have never touched it. That means it's burned 1 point something million entropy, so far. It's a cool project. Another one, Useless Brick. We're in Useless Brick. We're sitting here opening up our boxes, and they've changed the tokenomics a little bit. I kind of voted for them changing the tokenomics because I was barely making anything, and then I lucked out and opened the box. Next thing you know, I made $80 worth, in one day, $80 worth of useless brick. But then I go back to not open the box, and I'm back to making $1 a day, or 75 cents a day. So they've decided, and we voted that the person who opens the box would get 10% of the pool or whatever it is, or the rewards for that box, and then everybody else would get a little bit more. So hopefully to balance it out. I ain't gonna lie to you, I have not been really paying attention to it. I just let it roll. The ESP32 device handles opening the box, and they handle it. I'm back with y'all. I'm sorry. Irwin is the opener in the box. Irwin is the opener. Irwin is the one that changed the tokenomics, and I start getting confused. I'm looking at him, I'm like, wait a minute, that's not useless brick. Irwin opening the box. Useless brick is still figuring out their tokenomics. Useless brick is still figuring out the name of their token and stuff like that. They're still kind of getting their stuff together. Might change a little bit of their tokenomics. When they explained it to me, is with them, you get 7 days, up to 7 days worth of rewards. At the end of the 7th day, you have to pull those rewards out, but then you have to burn whatever you pulled out for those 7 days into your wallet. But if you don't pull them out, they get burned anyway. So either way, you're stuck burning. I don't know how that's going to work. I was told they might be changing that. Again, they don't even have a token yet. So even when you do a pull, they're keeping their own ledger of that. And, well, hold on. Let me hold that thought. Let me keep going. So the newest one, if y'all follow my Twitter, I hinted about this Monday to try to get more people following my Twitter. I'm doing a lot of stuff on Twitter, and I kind of hinted toward this so I can get myself in the project, but I kind of teased everybody about it on Monday, on the Monday video. But the newest one now is called FLX Time, and it's another ESP32 device. And let me tell you, this one is even harder to get in. They only allowed 100 people in. Well, it's supposed to be 100 new miners. At first, it was one per household, or one, or more than, you could have more than one or something. I don't know. And then they changed it, buckled it down. Now it's only one per person, per household, per whatever. But then they still only allowed those 100. And then as challenges kept coming in, they just kept dropping it, having rewards, that kind of stuff like that. And nobody could get in, even though everybody was submitting. You have all these people submitting, their pictures of the ESP32 device along with their screen names and stuff. They still weren't allowing people in. And then now they have announced that if you want to get in FLX Time, there are going to be a phase 2, 100 slots available, and it will come this Saturday at 2100 UK time, which I have no idea what time it is in America. And now you have to buy 100 FLX tokens. So the difference between this one and Useless Brick is you can actually go online and buy this one. So this is the entropy chart. I had it pulled up, and what's cool about entropy is even when you have some douchebag who wants to go sell all his stuff and just completely wreck the price, it gets bought up like that. That's very healthy, very healthy. I will say that. But we have where you can do. If I can find it. I know it's on here somewhere. But the FLX token, last I checked, was FXT. So even though the project's called FLX, it's FXT token. So it's at this 1.5 cent. It's had a little bit of some incline going on. I also purchased a little bit on the side, but what they want is they want you to purchase 1,000 tokens to activate your slot and start mining. Slots will be allocated on first come, first serve basis. So the question is all these people who have been sitting here and submitting stuff, are they in line, or do they have to submit? Do they have to submit it again? You know, I don't know. I listen. Okay, I keep wanting to say that, but let me just go off of this part. First, let me finish with FLX. FLX to me seems like one guy who was sitting around who said, hey, I missed out on these other ESP ones, so I'm just going to start my own ESP32 project. And he didn't really understand tokenomics. He knows this stuff as far as the ESP32 stuff because he made the bin files for us on the first day. We got into this project on the first day. He completely got overwhelmed. Some other guys came and helped him. He was trying to make up tokenomics as he went along. You know, whether or not this project or Useless Brick or any of these projects make it, I don't know. But what I've been wanting to say is, I'll say the same thing I tell still a lot of people who contact me about them. It doesn't, I won't say it doesn't matter, but you know, you can buy 3 boards of this. I have the link for them in my other videos. You can buy 3 of these boards for $18 American. Ends up being $6 a piece on Amazon. I like to buy mine from Amazon. If they come in dead, it's way easier to return them. Not that I've had any come in dead, but Amazon's just easy for me. I understand before anybody says it. Yes, AliExpress, you can get them for, you know, you can trade them for three potato chips or something like that, you know, $2 or something like that. But then you got to wait 7 to 10 days, I'm told. Either way, what's cool with these is, if I'm going to use FLX, for example, I'll put FLX on the device. If it don't work, it doesn't work out, the project fails, I'm not out of anything. Now with this one, yes, now, you know, I think you're out of, was it $10? So, you know, 1,000 tokens at a little over a penny a piece. But let's say Useless Brick. If Useless Brick doesn't work out, what are you out of? You're not out of anything. I mean, because you can take that same device, just like when you programmed it, you had to erase everything off of it. So in the next ESP32, because you know, now that we have the 4, somebody told me there was a 5th one that does something a little bit different. I didn't even look into that one. My point is, you know that when word keeps getting out, Entropy, we are flooding Twitter X all the time. Hey, but it's also making $22, $25, $30 a day. But you know there's going to be more ESP32 devices coming out, projects coming out, and then you'll just try with the next one. So that's why, you know, people are emailing me and questioning, you know, this about Useless Brick, this about Irwin, this about even Entropy, this about FLX time or whatever. Asking me all these questions. I'm like, look, guys, these are meme coins. You're mining meme coins. There's no real big project behind them. Now, I will say Entropy keeps talking about an Entropy 1 and Entropy 2 and different like stages of projects. They're changing their tokenomics a little bit so that they can get all the little warnings off of some of these dexes and dex screeners and different things like that. And you know, so you know that they're at least trying. There's a team kind of behind them to try to get some of that stuff straight. You know, FXT, whatever you have right here, where it says the creator, and I brought this up to him and he seemed lost about it. I'm like, dude, your stuff's flagged all over the place that you have mutable info. It's still mintable. And the creator is holding 99% of the tokens. You don't see that on these other projects. Now, could it just be that he set it up incorrectly? Yes. But me and several people, and I'm not going to call them out, we've talked behind the scenes about this. That just makes us a little weary. Instead of putting our own fiat into it to kind of buy it on ourselves, we kind of hold off until we see some of these flags get taken care of. So that's what's going on with these ESP32 projects. Jorge saying that you will have to resubmit. So Hey, listen, and they told him that. I saw it several times in the chat in Discord where all these people were submitting this all day, and they kept saying, "Hold off, we're not accepting new people yet." And here it is. So, let me see. Another thing I wanted to go over was another big news, and look, we've heard it many, many times. I think it's kind of hilarious that they're making it seem like he's stepping down. You know, we have a joke at work sometimes that, you know, some people, when you know there's bad news coming about your job at 3 o'clock, somebody gives you a hint that says, "Hey, do you want to have a meeting at 2:30 to tell us anything?" The smart people have the 2:30 meeting. The dumb people don't have the meeting at 2:30, and then they wait till 3 o'clock and get fired. Where if you quit, it doesn't look as bad, depending on, you know, what the circumstances are. That's at most jobs. You know, don't. I should have said my job. That's at most jobs. Most jobs where they know if they got to fire you at 4 p.m. at the end of the day, it's much better to go in there at 3 p.m. if you have an idea it's coming and you quitting versus that. This goofball right here is putting all over the place as if he's choosing to step down. Dude, you're not choosing to step down. You know that the day one of the Trump presidency, you're fired. Like the old Trump TV show, you're fired. So you can make it seem like you're stepping down, but you know what's coming. And this keeps getting pushed and pushed in the media and X and all this stuff like that. But and people wonder why. Well, how come it's not? How come the price isn't jumping? Why are we not at 100,000 just with this news alone? We knew this was coming since the day Trump won, that this douchebag was going to be gone. So why would it cause the market to go any crazier? We knew this was coming. This was one of the main things. I guess I should have brought it up earlier before. This was one of the main things that should have helped the bull market get started. You know, if I would have said this last month, hey, when Trump gets elected, one of the first things he's going to do is get rid of Gary Douchebag here. And that alone is going to make America more pro crypto, because, you know, we can sit here and say all we want that, hey, crypto's worldwide. SEC can do whatever they want, but crypto's a worldwide thing. But let's be honest, whenever they do anything, serve papers to any of these projects, look at XRP, look at what they did with some of these exchanges, trying to, you know, Coinbase. You got Coinbase asking them for clarification on rules. They don't want to give them the clarification, then got nerve to sue them and serve them with paperwork. Them kind of gimmicks and games like that. Then he gets called into Congress and he has the nerve to sit there and say, oh, it's the same rules we've had since 30, 40, 50, something like that. Well, you didn't have crypto back then. And basically, we're just glad to see him go. That's all of this to it. Glad to see him go. So, grass and bit harvest. I run grass on my grass devices. To be honest, I have one old laptop that's running the grass desktop, because you do get double the rewards on that. That's on a separate network that I have. That's not on my home network that I'm on like right now. That's just me. I'm old fashioned. I work in IT at work. I've had internet security, network security beaten in my head so much, I can't openly, consciously download a product like grass or even Honeygain. Honeygain is a project that I don't talk enough about, but Honeygain, I load Honeygain on all of my Bit Harvest devices. I think I got 4 or 5 of them, 6 of them now. And I kind of just forgot about it because we don't talk about it. Come hunting season, I'm going through it. I said, let me see what I got in Honeygain. I was trying to get a little bit extra money for spending money and stuff from this hunting trip. I had over $100 sitting in there. It's another project that didn't cost anything. And that's nothing with Bit Harvest. I could take my Helium device, if it's Raspberry Pi based, put the OS on it. I can still run Helium, run Wingbits at that time if you have a BYOD device, but that is just so much safer in my eyes. And the app that BitHarvest uses is one of the ones that gives you the multiplication and the better rewards for grass. And that's what majority of my grass nodes are, because they're on separate networks at separate places on top of rooftops in the city and different things like that. And that's how I'm running majority of my grass nodes. And they've did well. And then I'm also running, like I said, I'm running CureCoin, because CureCoin's another project that I really wanted to do a video on. Just never had the time. But CureCoin's kind of me. It's kind of my attitude towards it is kind of like the crypto community giving back to society, to human beings, because you build up this credits or whatever it is, which goes towards curing cancer, Parkinson's. Parkinson's is something that's, if y'all familiar with Michael J. Fox, who had Parkinson's, and I had a family, watched my grandfather, who was a very, very active man when he was younger, and heard all these stories about how active he was, and I watched him get completely crippled and then eventually pass away from Parkinson's. So it's something that I hold dear to me. And I run CureCoin on several different devices just for that Parkinson's, and I don't make really a dime from it. I mean, you do make a little bit of rewards from it, but it ain't hardly anything that I'll probably ever claim, because I'm letting all that go back towards them. So that's another thing that's cool with BitHarvest. And I wouldn't have learned about it without BitHarvest. I will tell y'all, to be fair, also they do have Crank out there. That's something I just never messed with. I've known the BitHarvest guys since we were in that scam project, DFly. They were one of the first ones that kind of brought me to the light to say, hey, we tried doing some business deals with this project, and we have some major red flags. This is some of the bad stuff we found in their firmware. And when we brought it to their attention, they didn't care. And it was very scary. And they called me on the phone. Like, it wasn't just like Discord, like private message. Like, they're like, dude, we need to call you. And because I was deep into DFly, and they kind of broke it down to me, explained it on my level. And I kind of owe them for that, because y'all know, anybody who was with this channel last year, knew I was deep into DFly. I was drinking the Kool-Aid. Every time there was something that came up, they fed me some line of BS, and talked to anybody who tried to warn me. They attacked them and made up all these lies. And now I'm on the other side, and when people bring up the facts that I try to tell people about DFly, they attack me. Milan, if that's how you pronounce his name, with Crank, brought up some things about DFly, and when we asked them, they had some very no good stuff to say about him. No good stuff to say about. They tried to tell me Burrito was a terrorist or something like that. Something completely, absolutely stupid. That's how bad that was, because Burrito found all the, fake photos of teams and stuff. And my point is, BitHarvest, it wasn't for those guys bringing me to light, I'd still be involved with that scam project. I don't know. I think at some point, after all the lies about Walmart and stuff, I wouldn't be involved. And now they're selling NFTs. I don't know. But my point is, I kind of owe them guys. That's a long explanation. I'm sorry. But sometimes I like to tell people why I'm so deep with the BitHarvest guys. They don't take any money for their project. They're not making any money on this project. The little bit of money that they make when they sell or do the tokens so that you can buy the firmware goes right back into the project, as far as servers and that kind of stuff like that, maintenance, and that's it. Saying that, I will say also, that's why I have never really messed with Crank. Crank, I don't really hear anything bad about him. I have nothing bad to say about him. So don't think because I've never messed with Crank, it's because I've heard bad things or I know bad things or anything like that. I know they have several people that I've spoke to and helped out with projects and stuff that are using Crank. They never say anything bad about it. Crank, the only thing, my confusion about Crank is that, from my understanding, there's a paid project, that Crank project itself, where you have to, hold so much Cardano and stake Cardano, not Cardano, is it Cadena or one of them like that? I don't know which one it is. And then there's also the project where you can multi-mod on a device and it doesn't cost anything. and that's where you can do the bit harvest and Wingbits at a time. I'm sorry, you can do grass in the Wingbits, and I think they had Pawns app also and Honey Gain and that kind of stuff like that too. So either one of those projects, the third-party projects, bit harvest or crank, run grass. If you have a Pi, you can do it on the Pi. If you have a Helium device, depending on which Helium device, you can do it. That's it. Yeah, Jorge, I can say that also just because I'm always talking to one of them. Whether it's through Discord or Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, DMs. I'm always chit chatting with one of them about something because several of those guys are in several of the projects with us. You know, those guys are also into these projects with me. They're not just, hey, we're with Bit Harvest. They are into the projects like grass. You know, one of them is very deep into grass. Another one's very deep into Wingbits. Another one is into entropy with us. You know, that's how I met D Vaselina, and D Vaselina is the one who does all my hats now. And you know, he has the hat with the Bit Harvest and the Godfather of the Gulf, and my shirt, the Grumpy Dad shirt, and it has the Miners Eat First logo for entropy, and the Wingbits, and the Bit Harvest on it. Bit Harvest, Wingbits. Y'all know what I'm getting at. Y'all can contact him if you ever want any shirts or t-shirts. He's also made my camo hat. If you saw my camo hat, and he's even making me a hunter orange hat because next week starts rifle season for hunting. And of course, so I need a Grumpy Dad hat. I've always said that if y'all ever want to buy any of that stuff from him, some people have contacted him. I don't want to make a dime off of it. I don't need to make a dime off of it. As long as he's covered, whatever he wants to make, it's on him. So, again, if anybody's still here and y'all haven't hit that like button yet, you know, as a YouTuber, you're obligated to say that. At least I think that's how that works. I don't know. Anybody got anything else? That's about everything I had to go over. Wingbits. If you're in the Wingbits, unless you live underneath the rock and you didn't see it, I put the short out and I put a video out. If you have a Wingbits device and it was BYOD, in other words, you didn't buy one from HiFix, thank you to everybody who bought from HiFix and used my code, because they still have people today still buying these devices. I think it's going to be big. But anyway, if you are on Wingbits and you did a BYOD device, it is time to put your shipping address in for your geosigner. You simply, if you look at my video yesterday, it has a step-by-step how-to. You'll know I like to do those how-to videos. And you can look at the how-to video, how to sign up for your geosigner device, add your shipping in there, and it doesn't cost anything. I'm pretty sure anybody who ordered BYOD after August 2nd, when they were waiting to reach their 2,000, I'm guessing y'all had already ordered those devices. Me and the majority of people who have BYOD devices, we were given those. Wingbits, because they changed this after we had set up devices, so they decided they were going to pay all the cost on it. So we get our GeoSign device. It's a cool device. I thought I had it pulled up at one point. Of course I do. Let me get my ugly face out the way. So this is what that device is going to look like. And, you know, I had some people ask me that question, how's it going to get hooked up? It goes into a USB port in your device, in your Pi or whatever that device is for your BYOD. Then you're going to have your wire that connects to your satellite, your little satellite receiver. So the one thing is, and this is going to be for me also, some of my devices only have 2 USB ports. So I'm going to have to figure out some type of splitter powered USB hub or something like that. But some of mine have a Wi-Fi puck on it. Some of them have, well, they're all going to have the SDR already on it. Now I'm out of USB ports, so I'm going to have to figure out a third USB port. Some people had asked about how long is the satellite wire that comes out of here, and it's going to be 3 meters, which would be about 10 feet. But there are extension cables out there somewhere. I guess, when I do a how-to video, I'm going to have to show that, send a link for it, because I do have some devices that are going to need more than 10 feet. Some of my ones that are in, some of my devices that are in, say, like buildings and stuff like that, on top of the roofs, on the top floor, what they call the penthouse. The device is inside with a LMR 400 that goes outside to the antenna. I'm going to have to figure out how to get that outside. Yeah, I mean, I had to order 14 of these. What's cool about it is, and one thing they clarified, and it was cool that Wingbits commented on my video to clarify this, was that, like me, I think I'm getting like 10 sent to me, because my one that's in Idaho, I was able to put their shipping address in. My one that was in Texas, I was able to put his address in there. My one that's in Missouri, I was able to put my host address in there. So now those things will get shipped directly to them. But the other 9 or 10 are coming to me, but they're not assigned yet. That's what's cool about them. So I don't have to worry about matching up this geo signer or mismatching this geo signer for this device. It will match up once I do the programming on it, or the script. Then they're going to give us the instructions on that. So that's that. We know that it's going to be 101 millimeters by, oh, come on. I don't know. This is what the PCB boards look like. I thought that was kind of a cool picture. You don't get to see that, of what the PCB boards look like as they're being manufactured. So, somebody asked about what were these going to be and what do they look like before, when you first announced it. People were asking, like, is it going to be like this? I already have something like that. You can see that these were custom made for the Wingbits team. They designed them. They said what they needed them to be. So apparently they reached out and somebody had to make these custom for the Wingbits people. This is what the box is going to look like that it's going to be shipped in, or that's going to come in. I think that's pretty cool. So, part of my irritation or grumpiness is that you have people who still want to knock this project because ADSB is already here. You have all these other projects doing it for free and stuff, but the companies that need that data and that info are not getting it free from those other companies. Yes, we can get it for free off of some app on our phone, but those companies that want that for different reasons have to pay those same people for that. So Wingbits is going to just be a player in that game. So why do people still knock this project thinking, do you think that they would be going to this kind of extent, working with HiFix to get their, own station made? Feedback from potential customers or possibly actual customers is what led them down this road, is what led them down getting away from BYOD, that they had to have a standard and, professionally made, I'm assuming, the HiFix devices that they went with, or that they got with HiFix and said, hey, we need devices that can do X, Y, and Z. We want it to be like this. And then they came up with GeoNet. GeoNet came up with the combo device. So now it's doing X, Y, Z, ZZ also. But even just stuff like this that you're seeing, this is not just some fly by night company making this. We have to be real here. This is legit. Y'all know I'm very bullish on this project. I know I'm rambling on about it, but it just upsets me to see. I don't even want to call him out, but I was in somebody's YouTube live last week, and he wants to sit here and slam Wingbits, or any ADSB type project or satellite mining or anything like that. Basically anything deep in, he was slamming, because he's like, there's just no, they're just trying to bring that genre into crypto and that kind of stuff like that. But No, there is actual use for this stuff. Just because, somebody put it perfectly the other day, you have good deep pin projects that were ran by piss poor teams. Sorry to use that French, but that's just what it is. And, the crypto mines can't seem to, previous to Wingbits and stuff like that, I'm talking about in the previous past, you had either piss poor management on the business side or piss poor management on the crypto side. I even call that with Helium. People want to say what side Helium should be on, not be on, whatever. Helium has a network that's being used. The network works. The redundancy works. That's why it's okay that they got more than one miner in the town for redundancy and different things like that. The miners aren't getting paid, but pennies, and some on pennies on pennies. That needs to be fixed. So you hope that these newer versions of these deep pin projects, Wingbits, Chirp, some of these other ones, will get that paired up correctly. So that's that. There was something else I wanted to bring up, but I don't know what it was. So, I don't know. I had something else I wanted to mention, but it just went. A long day. Friday fever for deep pin. Well, it ain't Friday here yet, but and next Thursday will be Thanksgiving, so I guess I don't have to tell you that unless y'all want to see me stuff my face full of turkey. Thanksgiving in the United States, and actually I'll be at the hunting camp because we always go to hunting camp. We eat lunch with the family first, and then go to the hunting camp after and spend the whole weekend there till Sunday. I'll be going to my new hunting lease in Mississippi, and I'll have some videos on the other channel, Grumpy Dad Outdoors. Y'all make sure y'all go join that because it needs all the help it can get. And there'll be some hunt videos on that because people have asked me for them. They don't get that many views, but people have asked for them. So happy Thanksgiving to y'all who I won't see next week, and then the week after we'll be back, and we'll see what happens. That's what I wanted to hit on real quick. Was Helium's HIP 138? I haven't did really a full video on it, even though I had some people ask. HIP 138 talks about they want to put all the rewards from IoT or mobile devices back onto HNT rewards. And depending on who you talk to, depending on what YouTube you watch, depending on what page it is, what Twitter it is, people love it, people hate it, people don't care. I don't know what to think, to be honest with you, because I have all IoT. I have 17 or 14, whatever it is, IoT devices. And from what I'm reading, I'm going to get screwed. This is more or less to help the mobile miners. The mobile miners are going to get a boost in rewards. IoT is actually going to get their rewards cut even more. I'm making 35 cents a day. I don't know how you're going to cut my rewards anymore, but it is what it is. They're saying that either way, it should start burning more HNT, which should start helping that price of the HNT. And that's why I'm kind of looking for it, because, hey, like I said, years ago, I made $5,000 in 17 days on Helium, and that price went up to 20, 30, and eventually $40. I'd love to see that again with the amount of Helium I hold. I keep asking, what am I supposed to do with my tokens now? Do I start now moving my IoT towards HNT or something? And there's going to be some type of mechanism for you to swap that. I know that there's going to be some kind of mechanism to hold the mobile token at a better price or something like that. So some people suggesting you move your IoT to mobile. I don't know. I know that there's also HIP 137, I believe, that BFG Neo has pushed, which has got a lot of momentum, and there's not that much talk about it. And maybe people just don't want to get viruses sent to their computers or not, but HIP 137, I believe it is, actually discusses cutting out China for rewards. And from what it was explained to me, was that China receives a huge amount of rewards when they know that like 80 to 90% of it is all gaming. And yes, I did not make that up. So that would release like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of IoT back to IoT miners. And they're thinking that even though this HIP 138 is going to help out the mobile miners, doing this kind of at the same time was going to help out the IoT miners, and we all should be happy. I'm hoping that that's what it turns out to be. At this time, I just use, let's see if I can find the stats. So China receives 9.7 million IoT daily. They're making a higher average reward. And they hold majority of the tokens, but they're not even holding them. That's the whole thing too, is they're selling them every day. So they're not even holding them. So they can't even vote against this. That's the best part, because if you're not staking, you can't vote against this. So listen, what I was getting at earlier was I use Helium as my DCA. I'm making $7 to $8, sometimes $9 on a good day worth of IoT. I immediately trade that because I have so much of it now. I ain't bothering with it no more. So for the longest time, I would just DCA that or move that $8 into Solana and just hold it. Then for a while, I was moving into Entropy and buying my Entropy. If there's some other little BS, little meme coin, I forget what it was the other day at work, Dope, Department of Peanut Efficiency, which was a run at the Doge thing, Department of Government Efficiency. I was playing with it one morning and I turned my $9 or $10 into about $40 or $50 because I pulled it at the right time and I yanked it out. I did a Twitter on it to kind of tell people about it. And I told people when I was getting out of it. And I did pretty well with it. That's what I'm using my rewards for. Hey, I'd love to see with the amount of Helium and the amount of IoT, and I even swapped some IoT a while back for mobile, a couple $100 worth. I'd love to see this project get a resurgence. When you had over 900,000 devices online at one time, I know what the rewards we were getting then, and now there's 300,000 devices. So you've had 2/3 of your devices taken offline, and our rewards still not have changed. There's something wrong with that. That whole system screwed up. So, all right, we've been going on for an hour now. Again, if y'all can help me out, hit the like button. Like, y'all haven't subscribed, subscribe. If y'all haven't, hit the little bell notification. Some people are saying they're not knowing, they don't know about my videos coming out. Some of them are very time sensitive. Whatever I can do to please y'all to help me out. We slowly are getting close to that 25,000 subscriber thing. Y'all fleeced me for $200, over $200 worth of crypto on my 20,000 subs party live chat that we had. I didn't mind giving it out because y'all, I wouldn't be here where I am now. I wouldn't be getting profits or whatever it is off these codes if it wasn't here for y'all. If it wasn't for y'all. So I thank y'all. I still say it every time, more than 100 people would ever sub to me. Why they want to listen to some old guy talk about crypto? So I didn't mind doing it for y'all. When I hit 25,000 on that next live, I'll probably give away a little bit of crypto. Ain't could be much. I don't have much to give out, to be honest with you. Everything's tied up into IoT projects. Any kind of profits I make, I turn around and I put into other projects. Or I'm staking it. My grass, all the grass I made, I took about $100, $200 out of it. When we first got grass, I think it was, what was it, like 40, 50, 60 cents. I held on to it, didn't touch it. Then it goes up to $3 or $4. Took $100 out for my hunting trip, and I staked the rest. So that's staked. So I can't even do anything with it. A lot of these devices, a lot of these projects I have staked. All my Luna Classic staked, all my Solana staked, all my Cardano staked, Vet. A lot of my stuff staked. And I like it because whenever I get pissed off at the crypto world and I want to go sell it, I can't because it's staked. It gives me time to cool down. Steamy Dumpling. I love it. Question: with these DPIN mines utilize ESP32, they also require purchase of tokens. Is it worth it still? As far as I know, the only one that is requiring you to purchase tokens is the FLX time or whatever like that. Is there another one that's now requiring it that I'm not aware of? I don't know if maybe Entropy might be. I know there was some talk about that at one point. We don't know because, I mean, FLX is so new. I don't know how you can answer that question. I will say this. It's $10. I spent it at lunch today. You know, if my kids want McDonald's, I'm spending double that. I don't think $10 is that. This is just my personal opinion, not financial advice. None of this stuff in this video is a financial advice. I just say that for $10, what the hell? I wish it was in a little bit more solid project. I just, like I said, this project seems like there's a reason. Y'all should know by now, if I'm not pushing the hell out of this, y'all are probably sick of hearing me talk about grass and talk about Wingbits and talk about Entropy and stuff like that, because I'm really behind those projects, Bit Harvest and stuff like that. Y'all notice there has not been a video yet for Useless Brick or FLX Time. There's a reason for that, because I'm burnt on DeFly, and sometimes it burned me too much because I should have maybe been a little bit more bullish on grass. But hey, the jury's still out on grass. Like I said, we don't know what the hell we're going to be getting in the long run. Entropy, we know we're making now. We're still making, here we are a month and a half, 2 months later in this project, it's still making $25 to $30 a day, $20 a day, depending on what the price is. I'm holding that for a while. I'm not trying to sell it, so I don't care the fact that with the second law and all that stuff like that, I'm not worried about that right now. I'll cross that bridge when I'm ready to sell something. But with them constantly changing like these rules with FLX time and stuff, again, it's $10. And another thing, like I said earlier, is your ESP32 device. If it doesn't work out, you can just install the next project on it. It's not like when you put something on that device, it's stuck on that. You can wipe it and put a different project on it. So it's $10. Now, if it gets to be more than that, you got to make the decision. Hell, it's better than wanting to get in on Chirp, where Chirp's $800. That's kind of my opinion on it. You know, so far they're active. Let's come out FTX or FLX time or whatever it is. I don't see nothing as of right now, other than little couple of flags on the token, which I see them having to get fixed at some point. There's nothing really yet that sends up a flag that concerns me, other than they seem like they're new to the being on that side of a project. You could tell, like I said, you could tell that they are very experienced with crypto and crypto projects. But I guess running it from the tokenomic side, they're a little green. But hey, we all got to learn at some point. And like I said, what are you losing? Now, another thing is, we have no idea what we're making right now, because you can't, last I checked, you can't really even see what you're making. You can't even pull your tokens to a wallet. They're going to do this weekend, every weekend, they're going to do this manual pull where it manually pulls you your tokens to your wallet. So I think that's going to be, a big tell also. And the other thing is, there is, let's see. I'm trying to see how much liquidity there is into it. that is my other question: is how much liquidity is even in here so that you could pull out even if somebody wanted to. I don't know. Don't know. Let's see, minimal first. So that's bird eye. The deck screen has got anything on them. So this says they have 15,000 in liquidity. So hey, depending on what you're making, you could pull something out of it. I don't know. Like I said, $10. But my question is, and I don't know, is do you get the position? Like they're only giving away 100 spots. They're going to have 100 spots get filled up quick. I'm telling you right now. Even though we have no idea what our rewards are, people so want to be in the early project of this, and especially with the halvings happening so fast, people want to get into this. It's going to fill up. My question is, do you have to buy the token and then submit to get into the project where they're going to check to make sure you have those tokens? Or can you submit to get into the project? Then if you're accepted to get your bin file, your cred file, then you have to buy the 1,000 tokens. Because it's going to, is it going to look a little gimmicky that the fact that all these people will be buying 1,000 tokens, 1,000 tokens, 1,000 tokens, and then when they don't get in, now they all bought tokens, which order them probably going to sell the tokens. I don't know. Don't know. If anybody else knows, feel free to answer. But this is a Donatille. What's up, man? Appreciate you coming in. Steamy, if you're still here, look, that's one thing about this channel is, and that's why I've always said, that's why, other than HiFix giving me a code, nope, anybody I've ever reached out to, even though I got more subscribers than other YouTubers who are doing unboxings and, hey, I got this device to show it off to y'all. I don't get those. I've been turned down for everyone. I think it's because when they see my videos, they realize I'm going to be honest. And I'm going to be honest. When you look at my other videos, it says I'll find something to be grumpy about. I've always told people, if I win $1 million, I'll be upset and grumpy because I have to give half of it to Uncle Sam for taxes when he didn't do nothing. If I can find something negative about anything, I'll be honest with you. I'm in these projects. Right now, I have 5 ENTs going right now in the room next door to me. 5 of them. I'm in them. To sit there and tell you that I'm sitting there pressing refresh all the time to see what they're making. No, there's times I don't even get to my entropy fast enough. It ends up burning a day's worth. Or on the Irwin, I have to go and charge it every 3 days. I can't tell you how many times I forgot to charge it. It's always the 4th or 5th day. I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to go charge that. So, but I'm into them. Very low cost getting into these projects. What more can you ask for? So, all right, guys, it is 8:20. I appreciate everybody who's been here. Make sure you hit the like button. 17 people. I appreciate each and every one of y'all coming in here. Everybody wanted a later time. We still got about the same amount of people watching. But what's cool is after this, I know that there'll be 100, 200 views on the video, and I'm cool with that. So, well, again, there will be no live. There won't be any kind of live next Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving to y'all, because I will not see y'all, for those who celebrate Thanksgiving. And happy Thanksgiving even to the people that don't celebrate it, because we like that. Steamy Dumplings says, gotcha. Hey, man, I just programmed another lead potato. I had one of my hosts has an issue with the lead potato that I sent them in Idaho. They seem to have some kind of electrical issue or something. I had to get another one and ship it out. It's still one of the easiest things to program, and it does it. Um, and you have no idea the amount I'm juggling between work. Look at me. I'm trying to talk about the projects earlier. I feel bad because I got Useless Brick and Irwin screwed up, which I don't know how because I've been with Irwin for a while and I support those guys. I feel really bad that I crossed the streams on them, but you know, I support both of them trying to get their projects off the ground and stuff like that. So, living in Dallas, Texas, what's happening, man? It's been a few minutes. Wayne says hi from Canada, from Wingbits. Listen, I know I'm repeating myself, but I'll keep telling people. I think Wingbits is going to surprise a lot of people. A lot of people are not giving this project a chance, and I think they're very closed-minded, or they're listening to the people who don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I think Wingbits, when you see the effort, the amount of fundraising they did, these cool looking devices that they got out, which by the way, don't forget 10% off anything at the High Fix store. But I think Wingbits is look, I'm hoping Wingbits is going to do great because of the amount of tokens I got being in that. I've been in that project for 18 months now, but that's not what it's all about. I'm telling y'all, I think I think if they can get the customers like they're saying that they're going to get, I think Wingbits is going to be good. I think the people who invest in that project are going to be happy, especially the people who did BYOD like me, because we don't have that big cost to offset, but it still cost us something. Even if you did use lepitators, because you had the body antennas and the feed lines and the SDRs and the POEs, outside housing and stuff if you needed it. You know, we still got a little bit of cost also, but I think it's going to be good. Chirp, real quick. I know Chirp put an email out for those in Chirp. Check emails. It says that they just started doing testnet tokens, which is another step going towards mainnet. I wish there was a little bit more momentum with that project. I even reached out to them, asked them what the hell's going on with them, and basically they said we're coming soon. I'm like, I've been hearing that since August that y'all are coming soon, but hoping Chirp can do what Wingbits did wrong and fix what Wingbits did wrong, and we'll see. We'll see. Wingbits miner different than a Crank miner. Yes, it is different because Crank is a firmware you can put on a device and run multiple projects. To a point, even the Crank project itself has a project. So it is that is completely different. They have these third-party companies like Crank or BitHarvest where you put their firmware on your device, and then it's almost like an OS, like a Windows would be, just to try to put it as simple as I can. And then you then run programs on their OS. So you'd be able to run Wingbits and Helium if you have a Helium device, and Grass and Honeygain and Firefly or Firefly, whatever it's called. And there's a bunch of different ones and stuff like that too. So go to the Crank Discord or check them out on Twitter, and you can learn about Crank. And to be honest with you, I've never really had anybody. I've had many people tell me they're running Crank, and nobody's really said anything negative about them. So I can't say anything really good or bad. I haven't ran it, so yeah, man, try BitHarvest on one. I know in the beginning, to be fair, you know I'm fair. BitHarvest had, when they were learning and doing different things, remoting into it kind of got to be a little bit of a pain every now and then. But a lot of these problems have been all worked out. Mine are just smooth now. They don't have any issues. You got to import a tail scale ID, a key into it, which is a little bit different. I have a video on that, how to import a tail scale key into BitHarvest. But once you do that and you turn off the expiration on on tail scale, because I learned the hard way about that, I can remote into it and see all my projects are being ran, even though they're 100 miles away from me. Well, XRP, I appreciate that. XRP says, Rel says he's going to use his Grumpy Dad promo code to get a GeoPulse. The only thing I'm going to keep saying about GeoPulse is, and look, I'm probably going to get one. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm probably going to get one just for the hell of it, just so I can keep up with, because I'm a fan and a firm believer of GeoNet project. One thing I just want to make sure, and I tell people this in the comments, I put a video out yesterday about the GeoPulse. I just want people to understand, GeoPulse is not going to be making your GeoNet tokens. So as you're driving around on a normal day, you're not going to be making any compensation, not going to get rewarded at all. What it's going to be is, there's going to be a couple of different phases of reward programs where you can do this phase 1, there's phase 2, there's phase 3. And if you complete those challenges or phases or whatever it's going to be, then you can get a reward for up to 200 Geo tokens. That's it. Then there's also IOTX that's also going to chip in and do some kind of reward thing also if you do whatever their challenge is. And that's it. Now, there could be more in the future, but for the immediate future right now, it's 60 Geo tokens for phase 1 task or whatever it is. And then phase 2 through 8, I think it is 20 tokens. So by the time you do, if you do all those, and there's no rush, you're not competing against anybody. But as long as, you get those done, you will get your 200 Geo tokens. But that's it. You finish all those phases, you're riding around with this Geo thing and GeoPulse. You're not going to make anything. I just want to make sure people understand that. If you have devices like Hive Mapper and different things like that, where you need more precise GPS or you lose GPS depending on where you're driving at, this is really going to help that out also. So I just want to make sure I let people understand that. But I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody's support. And we're going on an hour, 30 minutes. Look, I could keep, y'all know me, I can ramble on and chit chat all night long, but eventually we got to end this thing. But, I was even thinking about doing, 1 or 2 more lives, kind of like pop in lives every now and then, maybe like over the weekend. Especially if we think Bitcoin's going to hit 100,000, I might jump on a live to see who comes on. And I don't know. Another side of crypto we don't talk about much is AI tokens. I got a friend of mine, my age, but his son, who's y'all's age probably, he is a guru with some AI tokens. I don't really mess with him because I don't have the money and the capital to do it. I'm putting all my capital into this kind of stuff. But I've had some people in the past ask me about AI tokens. I don't know that much about them. So I'm thinking about doing a little special, like every now and then I'll bring him on, kind of like a, side-by-side type of thing. Kind of like what you just saw earlier, if you sort of the video I did earlier with Crypto Blood, when I posted that video, something like that, give y'all some hints about some AI tokens, because there's a lot of them, and of course not all of them are going to go up and go crazy. Some of them are going to do very well, so that's it. I appreciate everybody who stuck around. Make sure you hit the like button for me, please, and check out my videos that I've been doing. Check out my other channel. The link's in the other description. I eventually try to put it into this one, Grumpy Dad Outdoors. Please make sure you're checking out my Grumpy Dad 56 on Twitter, because I've been sharing a lot of projects and a lot of news during the day. When I can't do a short, I can't do a video. A lot of crypto news I've been sharing also. So thank y'all for watching. Shit, I think like Steamy. I swear, every time I do a video, I'm like, I can't make this video more than an hour. Nobody's going to watch it. And especially Monday videos, they keep getting longer and longer because there's so many projects we cover, so much news we cover. And I'm like, I have to be under an hour. And then by the time I'm editing it, it's like, we went an hour and 20 minutes this time. Y'all know me, I can ramble. Even like some of my short videos I tried doing yesterday, I'm like, look, I got to make sure I make it at least 8 minutes, because the YouTube algorithm wants videos like 8 minutes. So I'm trying to talk and I'm trying to do, because you're doing these videos in certain cuts, and then you use the editor to kind of put them together and delete what you don't need. And I just keep talking in all these different cuts and these different screens and stuff. I'm like, okay, I got to make sure I hit 8 minutes. The next thing you know, I put it together, I'm at 20 minutes. And I'm like, because me, I don't like watching that. I'll watch you know, I like George Cryptos R Us. He's very good alpha as far as Bitcoin. But his videos an hour long. I'm not watching that. I'll be honest with you. Tyler's been doing these 10-minute videos, and I've been watching every single one of them. When he was doing them longer, my ADD can't handle that. I can't watch it that long. So I know how I feel. So I don't want to put y'all through that. But if it's a how-to video, I don't want to rush it. You know, I want to make sure stuff's covered. I try to put chapters to let y'all skip around, but I'm too afraid that I'm going to skip out on something that I make them longer than they probably should need to be. And even at work, people joke at me that my emails are 3 times as long as they really need to be. But then when you try to cut the emails back, people are calling you because they don't understand what they do because you didn't put all the steps in there. But wait a minute, which one is it? You know, so I keep it on 2x speed. Hey, I might sound like Alvin and Chipmunks, my voice just won't be as deep. That's cool. Steamy Dumpling, all y'all. Adonathiel, appreciate it. Wayne, XRP Rel, living in Dallas, Texas, my boy. All that. One day I'm gonna go to Dallas, Texas. We're gonna do it upright one day. You know, go to Jerry World or something like that. I know this ain't the year to go to Jerry World if he's still here. 619 Oda, appreciate it. Bryce, Sidewinder was here. Man, I miss Sidewinder. Didn't see him. Even Dave McDrip's in some of our Twitter groups with us. I appreciate everybody who came. If y'all still here, appreciate y'all, and thank y'all. And I'll see y'all in the next video.